Hey everybody, Big Dave here. I'm sitting on the porch catching up on some cold coffee, and it's 4th of July weekend. So I finally got my porch fixed after the storm. I had a lot of damage, after Sandy and all that. So at least now it's good out here, and it's fixed. And I had some questions from different people on the line, and some people sent me emails and things like that about how I get some of my ideas or what I practice. And I thought that was a good question because it made me think about, where some of my ideas come from. And one thing is I do a lot of listening. I listen to all kinds of music, classical music, rock, jazz, a lot of guitar players like Jim Hall, Joe Pass, Wes Montgomery, and a lot of classical music. As a matter of fact, usually I just have the radio on at home, and it plays classical music, and then if I want to listen to jazz, I'll just look up stuff online. Because a lot of my CDs and things I don't have anymore, so I'll use YouTube. But anyway, I thought I would just, and somebody was asking me what I practice, so I thought I would take a few minutes and just share that with you. So let me show you. Actually, I practice a lot of different things. One thing I do is I use sometimes, this is the Fritz Kreisler collection. It's actually violin books. And it has all kinds of different things in it. And what I'll do is I'll take one of these pieces, and I might start with an easier one. Well, first of all, they're never easy, all right? They may look easy, but none of them are easy because either you have to play slower and hold out the notes and really have a good tone, or, you have to read them quicker, and they have complicated intervals and things like that. So, some of these are pretty tricky. One thing I do use when I practice this is, the good old metronome, and I'll set it slow and just practice not too fast, where I feel I might make a few mistakes, and I think that's okay, but I try to adjust it so that I'm not making, if it's too fast and I'm making mistakes, I'll slow it down. And the pulse, for me, to have the pulse to practice is important so that I feel like I'm not rushing. Right now, I have so many things I practice, over the years. But right now, I'm just working on some other stuff. This is the Paganini caprices. This is transcribed for clarinet. Okay. And I've had this book for a while, and it's the same thing. What one thing I'll do is like the perpetuo, which is in the end, the molto perpetuo, and you could practice this with different rhythms. You can even put it into a jazz thing. So, like for example, I could go. And so on, instead of just most of this is slurred. And so on. But you can do, and you can break up the rhythms. Or you can go. So that's one thing I practice. A few other things I use. Lately I've been using this diminished scale book by Walt Weiskopf. I find that useful. It has some great stuff in it. And then just listening and practicing some things, off of what I hear off the internet. I don't necessarily transcribe. I just listen for certain lines and I practice. So, okay, well, there'll be more later. And I'm glad you stopped in to listen. Have a good 4th of July weekend.